Since my elf was such a heroic figure, I decided he deserves at least the Legends mode to play for him. Unlike the dwarf or the human, he did kill quite a bit, so that should be worth looking at. Historical figures. So if we look down here, we got a male dragon. He died in 130. So this is the dragon I eventually killed. In the early summer of 130, Zanga was struck down by the elf I Tree Beloved, the Seal of Watches, with a steel spear and brand taxes. So that's how he died. Killed by me. And I got killed by the Forest Titan. So maybe this is the guy? Nope, that's a different Forest Titan. Alright, so this one's the one that struck me down. So those are the Mega Beasts, or the Titan's Mega Beast, but it's strong enough to be one. So okay, it's dead. Or it's not dead, but whatever. Historical figures, yeah, let's go do that. Historical figures, and we'll go down here. So these are all, like, you know, a lot of the goblins and such. There's that male dwarf. Struck down by the elf. Nothing really happened to him. Actually, let's look at Slasher and the other guys first. So Slasher was one of the first guys that got joined with me. He struck down the kobold with the iron shield, and he was eventually struck down by a goblin with a great axe. And he has a couple troglodyte kills too. Smasher. He was just struck down with a silver hammer in the Abbot Forest. Not sure what killed him, but he killed a few troglodytes. Maybe a troglodyte grabbed something and killed him. Like his hammer. He was struck down by troglodyte lizard marks in the Horn of Wildness. But he killed a troglodyte. And then this one Spiker was struck down by the kobold with the iron spear and clutch fountain. My old fortress. So that's them. We'll go down to Pointy, Pichu, and all that. So Pointy became Haunted Wilds, and he bled to death in brand taxes. Probably when the dragon lit him on fire, or I made him walk through the smoke. Pichu, he was like the real hero. Killed a bunch of stuff. He mortally wounded a goblin who bled to death with an iron bow. And then he was shot and killed with the goblin backs seduced with iron bolt. So he probably died in that big giant ambush. Head Smasher struck down the elf Aslot with the copper war axe. He didn't die, so I guess he's the one who ran off. He survived. Big hit. He's not struck down, so he's alive. He's a hero in the eyes of few people. So that's them. A bunch of these guys, they join me to fight and die horribly against all these goblins. All these goblins. There's Lucky. Let's look at Lucky. So Lucky became an enemy. He struck down a goblin. He mortally wounded another goblin who bled to death. He struck down another goblin with a copper whip. And then he was eventually struck down by one of those, you know, bandits that got me near the Titan. So yeah, that's all the guys I named. And now we look at me. So I struck down some kobolds, and then eventually I struck down the dragon, which of course made me hero in a whole bunch of people's eyes. I struck down several goblins, and then eventually I was struck down by the Forest Titan. So 29 noble kills. I should have some other stuff. A giant louse, 2 hippos, an elephant, another elephant, a greenhorn, owl woman. But that is a fairly good, you know, run with this character. I killed a dragon. I haven't done that yet in any of my Let's Plays. It tells you how often I do it. if we go to sites, and we go down to Clutch Fountain, and go all the way down here, we'll actually see that some other stuff happened here. Several dwarves got killed by troglodytes, Jalfa. Alright, up here. So we abandoned it, and then, stuff got killed by, like, Elper, Dralfa, struck down by Kobold. This dwarf was bled to death, slain by Dralfa. Then, I killed a full few Kobolds, and, dwarves got struck down by Dralfa. Kobold killed a human slasher. Kobold struck down by Elf. Dwarf was struck down by Troglodyte. Dwarf bled to death, slain by Dralfa. Kobold struck down by Elf I. And all this stuff, pretty much probably happened after I left. So, the world continues. It'll be nice when he makes it so that if you abandon a site that's, pretty much successfully running, it doesn't necessarily die. So sites. Let's see. Nope, nothing else is coming up, so. Regions, underground regions, civilization, our entities, art, bunch of art that I made, structures, nothing really to note. So that's pretty much it. I died somewhere around this area, was it? Down here's the dragon in this area. And then up here, yeah, around this general area, I think would be where the Forest Titan would be, maybe. Hard to say on these maps. But anyways, that should be it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll probably start a new world next, and I'll continue from there with a Let's Play for a Fortress mode.